Hey, Babylon Fantasy Football. Happy Friday.
We're back, November 7th. Week 10's upon us. Thankfully, I didn't watch any of last night's game. I don't know if you did, Charlie, or not. Looked horrible.
Yeah, I watched it. It was a very gross one to watch. Some slight fantasy implications, but no one really did anything, honestly.
Yeah, I saw about J.K. Dobbins ended up with like 10 points. Bo Nix, he got him in our redraft for Guillotine League, and he only had 9 points, so I might be chopped right away. But um, oh well, that happens. And yeah, I think what did I see? That they're both teams had more penalties than first downs.
It was
Crazy.
ridiculous. Like I wanted to turn it off, but I was like, well, I got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And it was like so many punts and like just run the ball and yeah, as you saw, 10-7 game. So I hope you had the defenses.
Yeah, that's true. Defenses did well at least. But yeah, that was some type of game. So hopefully our starts of the week are a lot better than anybody who started last night, aside from the defensive players. So
Yeah, I think if you had Genti, you were probably happy, but outside of that, like no one else did any. Oh, Genti, you were okay. Anyhow, injury updates. Kyler Murray got placed on IR.
Bucky Irving's out. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Bucky
Sorry
Irving
if
is
you're about
out.
to say that, Charlie, or not, but I know he is questionable throughout the week. So he is officially out, though. I saw. So Rashad White will probably get a look for him to do well again. So crazy, surprising 7-2 and 6-2 game at noon on Sunday between the Patriots and the Bucks. So
Yeah, that'll be a fun one. I actually drafted Bucky on our redraft guillotine, but luckily enough, I took Rashad White in like my first bench slot, so I'm covered there. Um, Brock Purdy's still not back. Um, Ricky Pearsall still not back. Ramondre Stevenson got ruled out again, so we'll bring up a start here later. Brian Thomas got ruled out. Unfortunate. I think that might do it for majority of the injuries. We probably missed a couple.
yeah, I think that was majority. Hopefully, you picked up what we talked about in the waivers with either Parker Washington um, or Diami Brown, but hopefully Parker Washington over there in Jacksonville, and maybe he'll do something if you have to start him this week because Pearsall and obviously Ayuk are still gone. So, but we'll see what happens. I think that's it kind of for injuries.
Yeah, the only other weird like note was Chris Godwin said like he's not going to be back until late November, early December, which was just kind of weird, but I don't know if you're going to get any value out of him the rest of the
Yeah,
season.
true. That'd be tough. And then obviously there's some trade deadline pieces. Most of them are on the defense end. I know obviously Jacoby Myers did get traded to. Um, no, he wasn't Seattle. Why am I blanking on where he went? Or was he Seattle?
He
No.
went to the Jags.
Yeah, Jags. Okay, sorry. Well, yeah, I guess talking about them, so who knows really for sure how he'll fit in this week, and how that'll affect. Just keep an eye on how that'll affect Parker Washington and Dami Brown if you ended up picking them up. Maybe not as much this weekend because it's a brand new offense kind of for him. But go forward, maybe just look at that. Even BTJ's value too. Keep an eye on. So, and Jacoby Myers. I don't know if you have any other inputs on that, Charlie. But
No, I expect the Jags to win that game. It'll be interesting. Hopefully, Brian Thomas can get healthy because
mhm.
he's been screwing over everyone who drafted him in the second round. But let's jump into our starts here. Maybe go a little different route. You want to go tight ends first?
Let's do tight ends, Charlie. All right, my
Who's your
tight
tight
end.
end start of the week?
My tight end start of the week with the horrible QB over there. Um, I got Juwan Johnson for the Saints. Touchdown last week. Decent amount of targets as well. I think Taysom Hill might be out still. And Schloff ended up liking to target him last week as the new QB there. I think they might have found a little bit of a connection compared to Spencer Rattler and Juwan Johnson. Obviously, they started off really well, but then they fizzled out towards the end when Olave was getting most of the catches. I kind of feel like the same type of a situation is going to happen with Schloff here. Maybe he's going to have, or Schlauf. I don't know how to say his last name, but I think he's going to have to do some dump offs. And if they get into the red zone against the Panthers, which the Panthers defense is low key pretty solid, they've been better than they usually have played before. But I think look for Johnson to get those red zone targets and those dump offs as well. So that's going to be my tight end start of the week. And I think the Panthers, they let up a decent amount of points to tight ends. I can't remember exactly what their ranking is, but so that's my tight end start of the week. Um, what do you got? You got any input on that, Charlie?
No, honestly, I was thinking about going Johnson, but I think I already made him a start earlier in the year. But
Yeah,
yeah, tight ends are tough this week outside of the top guys. There aren't a lot of great matchups. Unless maybe you picked up Colston Loveland. Could try to play him again, but we couldn't rock him again. But yeah, no, I don't mind that one at all, especially with Rashid Shaheed being traded.
yeah, that too. Shade's gone, so he'll get more opportunities. But yeah, I also do like I was thinking Dallas Goddard as well on Monday night, and I know that Hurts does like to throw to him, even though their matchup is tough against the Packers. You never really know what could happen. So Goddard's been going pretty well. I know he has lower projected points than Juwan Johnson was, so just maybe look for him if you have either one of them. But
Who would you rather start?
I'd probably go with Goddard on that situation though.
Yeah,
So
me too.
how about you? Oh yeah, okay,
Do the same.
yeah. All right, Charlie, who do you got for your good old tight end start of the week? Your boy.
So if those of you know, we don't like to pick guys that are super high ranked. Um, these are starts are supposed to be for deeper leagues, but I want to give people confidence because he's been pretty bad since he got back from his injury. I'm going with George Kittle. Again, he has not been doing well. He's seeing like 4, 5 targets a game, but I think it's only a time before they get him involved in that offense. We've seen the receivers still being out with injuries. Kittle has been very good the past couple of years, so I think he'll turn it on eventually. And I'm gonna just predict that this is the game where that starts.
Last time, I think what you predicted him to do well, he ended up getting a touchdown. So I like your thought process there with Kittle. And like we mentioned earlier, they still have a lot of injuries over on that front. So it just depends on if they will give Kittle the ball or if they keep on throwing in McCaffrey. So, but I do like that.
Yeah, that one's not as deep. I think I didn't make him my start, but I said if you had him, you should play him. In like 2 weeks ago. But anyhow, where should we jump over to now,
All
Ryan?
right, Charlie, let's talk about our running back starts of the week here. What do you
Okay.
got? Our boy.
This one I'm iffy on. Now, this is kind of on the fact that I thought Aaron Jones wasn't gonna play.
Right.
So maybe I move off of him if Jones does end up playing. I think he was limited in yesterday's practice. But I'm going with Jordan Mason against the Baltimore Ravens. The matchup is good. We've been targeting the Baltimore defense again and again.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that people are overlooking the Vikings. Like last week, we played well against Detroit. And yeah, Baltimore's 28th against running back. So I think the matchup is very good. And if Aaron Jones is out, I'm pretty confident in Jordan Mason, but I might pivot if Aaron Jones is playing.
Yeah, I think Aaron Jones playing. Keep an eye if he is playing. I'd keep an eye on that for sure because he had a lot of production last week, and he honestly kind of jump started their offense in the first quarter, and would probably do that again. But if Aaron Jones is not playing, um, I'll mention also a guy later that started the week against this Baltimore defense, but it's usually just a target point, and I think it depends though to how Baltimore's offense is playing. So it's a little risky. Obviously, hopefully it works out. Um, But like Charlie was saying, if Aaron Jones plays, I would be very weary.
Yeah. So hopefully just monitor that. You might have a better option. Maybe we'll talk about it at the end. Some guys you can play over them. All right, Ryan, who is your RB start of the week?
My RB start of the week might be a little bit a pretty easy pick here, I would say. We'll see how he performs. Charlie talked about him earlier in the year, and he wasn't getting any touches or any really like field time at all. I'm gonna go with Travion Henderson. I think he's kind of proven himself last week, or I think they might have been on bye last week. But either way, whenever they played last, he had 75% of the snaps he was out there for, and he got the ball quite a bit. I think he ended up only getting like 14 or 15 points fantasy wise, but still, it's pretty good production. And this week they play the Bucks, which usually that leads to a high scoring game. Um, Booty, our boy. No, I was kidding. My boy, he's out. No, it's not. Doesn't make a difference at all. But anyways, that Patriots offense is rolling, and Stevenson did well when he was playing. So I look for Trayvon Henderson kind of to take over for that production, and honestly, just perform well. He might get into the end zone too for you. That'd be a good sign. But I just think that he can catch the balls out of the backfield too. So he's just look for him to have a good week and it to be a pretty decently maybe high scoring game. So
Not bad. Uh, I thought about going with him too, but I can't double down. I'm already playing him in our league, and
yeah,
so I don't want to get double hurt by it. He had like 5 points on the opening drive of last week's game, so I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be like an amazing game." And then yeah, I ended with like 13 points or something like that. I was a little disappointed, but I think he'll be in for a good week. Tampa Bay, it's a good matchup.
yep, I think so too. A good matchup right there. So
All
where do you
right,
want?
let's go. Oh, go ahead.
I was just say where do you want to jump over to next? Sorry, Charlie.
No, it's all good. Let's go to quarterbacks, Ryan. Who is your QB start of the week?
Relating to that hat Charlie has on, a great Minnesota Vikings hat, and Jordan Mason. That's his start for the running back. Sticking with that against the Baltimore defense, which we've been targeting quite a bit again this year, as you guys will all know. I'm gonna go with JJ McCarthy, number 9. That's his alter ego. That's uh, his overstimulation. I don't know. JJ McCarthy. I like the matchup here. He obviously has the weapons around him. This will be his. I mean, second week back from injury, a little bit more confidence. He looked like he was obviously that game manager week 1. But I think we're going to have to make him put up a better stat line than he did. Not week 1. Last week, it's week 1 back from injury. I think you'll have to put up a better stat line to keep up with Lamar Jackson and that Baltimore offense. And I do believe that JJ McCarthy will be able to do that, actually. Obviously, I hope so, but I also do believe so. Baltimore's defense is still, they did play, the Dolphins let up 6 points, but that's the Dolphins. So I think, and before that, Baltimore, they did let up only 16 to the Bears, so they are kind of like on fire a little bit right now, but we're kind of a different beast. We're at home. We got some confidence in our veins right now, and I think that McCarthy will. I don't know if he'll lead to a win, but I think he'll lead us to at least over 20 points. So
Another one that I like.
let's
I
go,
almost went with him too.
go,
Skull.
go, let's go, let's
A lot
go.
of screen passes, Jordan Mason, right?
Yeah, that's fine as long as we get the end zone.
Yeah,
So
that would be nice. Great matchup. My QB start of the week, I'm going with Jackson Dart. He gets a great matchup against the Chicago Bears, who are 29th against quarterbacks. People aren't respecting Jackson Dart. I was one of them a couple weeks ago, but he's very playable right now with that rushing upside. Against this terrible Chicago defense. He's been the RB or the QB 4, 3, and 7, 4 out of the last 5 weeks. So 3 out of the last 4 weeks. So I expect him to continue that going. And those were against tougher defenses in Denver and Philly.
yeah, I mean, this is definitely hands down a great pick here. Um, whether that be in garbage time, whether that be during like the actual game, Jackson Dart, he is going to be killing it. And Joe Flacco just put up what 35 or 40 points against him. I know, obviously, score wise, he put up 42. So it's definitely in the week before that. Even I think Tyler Huntley did all right against the Bears defense. So look for Jackson Dart to keep that up. I don't know if it's in Chicago, but either way, like
I
try
think it
to
is.
Jackson Dart can run, so he has that opportunity and he will run. So, I like that start of the week a lot. Yeah, hands down, that's a good one. I know he's projected like 22 points. I saw so, and I think he'll hit that mark probably. But what do you got for wide receiver start of the week, Charlie?
This one is very deep. Um, but I'm feeling good about it actually. I'm not playing him in our league because I have some better options. Like I'm playing Travion in my flex over him, but I'm going with Darius Slayton. I'm going to pair him with Jackson Dart. I think that they're finally going to connect on a touchdown here. And again, they play the Chicago Bears, who are very bad against wide receivers. Let me just pull up the strength. or the defensive rankings for wide receivers. Oh, yeah, they're 29th against wide receivers as well. So a very positive matchup. He's been seeing 7 targets, 5 targets, 6 targets the last 3 games. So I think that he's going to be getting it done.
I'd have to be one of our bets later on.
I
Well,
don't know if I can go full touchdown, but I'll say over on points, whatever we decide.
yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, like you said, it's Bears defense is not they're not that good. So look for that to be pretty high scoring and Jackson Dart to do well. And like Charlie was saying, a lot of the targets do go to Darius Slayton. So
Yes, sir. All right, Ryan, who is your wide receiver start of the week?
mine, I know we talked a little bit and he's gotta get some confidence out of some of the guys again. And I feel like kind of people did it. Charlie obviously traded him away for a good trade, though, too. Josh Jacobs is an outstanding player, number 3 RB of the year. But just going back to the Eagles, I think I'm gonna go. So my wide receiver start of the week, AJ Brown. I know there's probably some people. First of all, thought he was gonna get traded during the trade deadline, but the GM inserted confidence in him and the team. Howie Roseman or whatever his name is, don't like him anyways. But AJ Brown, they were just like he's too valuable piece to give up, and I think that means something. And he had 28 fantasy points obviously against us, didn't play against the Giants. And I think look for AJ Brown to keep that up. He might not be the fastest receiver out there. He definitely isn't, but he's a big body and he can get over Xavier McKinney and that Packers secondary. I feel like pretty easily him and Devonta Smith. Like for that, both of them to have pretty big games. Again, I think their pass game is they figured it out. And maybe they just needed to do that against us and the Giants. So just insert some confidence again in AJ Brown and start him this week. And I would say at least one of your wide receiver slots the rest of the season. I think he's kind of under projected in points this week, to be completely honest with you. I don't know how you feel about it, but I think he's only projected like 14 or 15 PPR points. So
Yeah, that one's interesting.
I think
Coming
he was
off the injury last week.
yeah, I think he's outside the top 10 too. I know the injury part's a little interesting, but I just have that confidence. So
Might have to have that bet.
I'm in.
All right. The fun parts, and then we had a special guest that we'll have join us eventually. He will give us his starts. I'll read them off after we do our last two here. But before we get to that, Ryan, who is your big, beautiful, shiny turd?
Big booty bull. Beautiful. Sorry. Shiny turn. Miss PG is Cam Dicker, the kicker. Chargers kicker playing on Sunday night inside the SoFi Stadium against the Steelers. Last time they played on Sunday night at SoFi Stadium, Ben Roethlisberger was playing. Anyways, it was a really high scoring game, and kickers were kind of killing it. Don't know how that relates at all to this game, and it probably doesn't. But the Steelers' defense is horrible, really bad, and if it's not extra points, he will be getting some field goals. So look for Cam Dicker to have uh, at least a 10-point game, I would say, this week. So
I like that
that's
one.
my big, beautiful, shiny turd kicker of the week. Charlie, what do you have for your defensive start of the week?
Yeah, this another team that's very good on defense, coming off a bye. So hopefully you're able to pick them up like I did before waivers even ran last week. But I'm going with the Cleveland Browns, who get to go up against the New York Jets. They traded all their defense away. I expect them to get after Justin Fields or Tyrod Taylor like a lot in this game, whoever ends up playing. I think Myles Garrett's going to have at least a sack.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he definitely will at least have a sack. He's crazy good. And yeah, that Jets offense is porous until garbage time, but there might not be any garbage time. So it might be porous the entire game this week. We'll see. So, I mean, I like that start of the week. Hopefully, Justin Fields plays, though, as I have him starting in our league, though. So, we'll see.
We'll see. A little shout out though. I have them in our league, but the Patriots played Tampa Bay this week. But if they're out there, I'd go pick them up because they get to play the Jets next week.
Oh,
So
yeah, that's a good point there.
I'd be targeting them. All right, those were our starts. Now, this is a special guest, Benjamin, who gave me his starts. He's going with quarterback Trevor Lawrence. Um, he doesn't have Brian Thomas, but he does get Jacoby Myers, fresh wide receiver on the team. CJ Stroud is going to be out against the Jags here, so maybe they'll be racking up the points. A lot of scoring opportunities with the backup quarterback there for Houston. And then his RB. Oh, this is interesting. I knew it was different, but his RB start of the week is Aaron Jones. So I said Jordan Mason, he's going Aaron Jones. The Vikings looked better last week. These are all of Benjamin's points. They trust him a lot more as a pass blocker, and they give him more opportunities to be on the field. He's a great pass catcher, I think. So that's especially good for PPR leagues. Uh,
Mhm.
Wide receiver start of the week, Romeo Doubs, someone that we've been screaming his name all season long. He's the Packers wide receiver one clearly, and he's averaging around 8 targets per game since week 4. And with Tucker Kraft being out, I think they'll turn to him even more. It's all words from Benji.
I like
And
that.
then lastly, tight end start of the week, Dalton Kincaid. This was one I was considering, so I like this one. Um, Seems like Josh Allen loves to throw him the ball. He scored 4 touchdowns while being active only 7 weeks. In only 1 week this year, he's been targeted less than 6 times or failed to score a touchdown. I also saw a crazy stat on him. Those were his starts, but Dalton Kincaid's only playing like 50% of the snaps, and he's still putting up like these insane numbers. So can't even imagine if he was playing 100% of the snaps, what he'd be scoring.
I like them. Trevor Lawrence plays against the best defense in the league, though. A little bit tough there. We'll see what happns. Hopefully, it works out for him. That Texans defense is great. They'll have a lot of pressure and everything, and they definitely will be rallying around Davis Mills, their backup QB. But who knows? Trevor Lawrence can make some magic, and obviously Jacoby Myers is over there now, and some of those other receivers we talked about. So we'll see for sure on that. I like Romeo Doubs a lot, especially against that Eagles secondary that seems to struggle. And then obviously I like Kincaid too. And well, let's see what happens with the running back between Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason. So you guys have opposite ones there. But
Again, I didn't know that Jones was playing necessarily because he didn't practice on Wednesday, so I thought that was kind of a telltale sign that he wouldn't be playing. So yeah, I'd probably be starting some other guys. Like, would you rather start um, Tyrone Tracy against Chicago or Jordan Mason?
I honestly really don't have much confidence in Tyrone Tracy. I probably would go Jordan Mason.
I think I'd go Tracy if Aaron Jones is playing.
Yeah, Tyrone Tracy really needs to give me some confidence. That's the thing. I don't know. I don't have it in him. I know I picked him up with all my fob, but I don't have it in him right now.
And then what about Aaron Jones? Would you rather play him or would you rather play Alvin Kamara at Carolina?
Well, if Aaron Jones is starting, I probably would go to Aaron Jones. Kamara is just kind of washed. He is really washed up.
I agree. I mean, he's just not getting the passing work, which is what he's always been good at. So maybe they'll
Yep.
start getting him the ball. That's the only way he'll be good. All right, jumping over to wide receivers here, Ryan. Would you rather play AJ Brown against Green Bay or Chris Olave against Carolina?
My AJ Brown. I know Olave will be fine too. But AJ Brown, let's get that confidence. He's my guy. What about you?
I think I'd lean Olave there, but that's close to me. I think that's right around. What about your start of the week last week, Rome Dunze or AJ Brown?
Sorry, Classic did not perform well. Sorry about that one. I'm gonna go AJ Brown. They both will be pretty comparable, I think, though.
I thought about going Rome this week for my start of the week, so I'm gonna go with Rome. I also my starts last week were insane. Joe
Yep.
Flacco went off, Kareem Hunt went off. I also had Marvin Harrison who had his first like amazing game, and then I had Colson Loveland who had like a huge breakout game too.
You would have won in like any fantasy league last week. That was good, Charlie. That was good.
Hopefully we can repeat and do that this week.
Yeah.
All
Like
right.
Noah Fant had a touchdown, by the way.
Oh yeah, that was big. That was big. Would you rather start Keenan Allen or Josh Downs?
mm, Colts play Atlanta.
And then the Chargers play Pittsburgh.
I just think that Steelers defense is too bad. I'm gonna have to go with Keenan Allen probably. How about
Yeah,
you?
me too. But it's an interesting one. Um, I think that'll do it for some starts here. What did we do for betting last week?
I'm guessing you probably want him.
So wait, Noah Fant scored?
Yeah, but we didn't. I didn't think we ended up betting on that one. I think. Oh yeah,
We
we
did,
did.
but it was five and
We
a half
did
points.
points. We did points, and I got the Noah Fant one. Yep.
Oh,
Awesome.
I think I said over on Brian Thomas Jr. So I think you won that one. And then I said no 20 points from Jared Goff. I'm pulling up.
Oh, that's right. That was what it was.
He had 19.36.
Dang it. That's great. I
That's
thought that
crazy.
I thought that touchdown at the end of JMO would have helped me, but I guess not. Wow.
That means we're 17 and 10, Ryan. You're climbing back.
Clogging it back up. We'll see.
All right, what ones did we mention for our bets this week? Oh, Darius Slayton.
It was that and then AJ Brown points, I would say.
All right, let's do Slayton for mine. Looks like he's projected for 10.75 PPR fantasy points. Do you think he hits that?
10.75 for Darius Slayton PPR. Would you put the needle a little bit higher?
Yeah, I'll go 12.
I'll go under that. That's
All
fine.
right. I can't remember. I think you did two last week because I think
Yep.
you did Goff and Noah Fant.
Do we? I mean, I know we've done like an AJ Brown one before, so I don't know if we really
Okay, if you
want
don't want to, we don't have to.
that one. Or, like we could. I mean, we could do it again. I think he's gonna go over pretty much anything. So,
What about who do you think scores more points, Devonta Smith or AJ Brown?
uh, do you want Devonta Smith? I'll give you. I'll go down. I'll rip it. I'll let it go. Um, just on with Benji start of the week on Trevor Lawrence. Do you think, sorry, Benji, but do you think he throws for more than one touchdown?
What's he projected for points?
I think like 14, 13.
I feel like he only throws like one touchdown a game. And like you said, it's the number one pass defense. So no, I'll say he only throws one.
I don't even know if he's gonna throw one. I was thinking about that.
He's thrown one every week, but three. So, I mean, I guess
That's pretty
takes
tough.
a.
That's pretty tough. I think he'll probably. Well, that Texans defense is something.
Let's do a
Actually,
yardage. Want to do a yardage?
yeah, sure.
So he threw for 220 last week. His lowest on the year is 174, and his highest is 296. So probably averaging around like 215 or so. You want to go? You're going lower? All right,
Yeah,
I'll ride with Benji.
that's nice. Yeah, I'm gonna go lower. Sorry, Benji and Trevor Lawrence.
All right, over 215 yards for T-Law. I said Devonta Smith over AJ Brown and 12 points for Slayton PPR. All right, that'll be some interesting ones there.
Some deep pulls right here. Some belief though. We like it. That's what we
Yeah.
do around here.
What'd you say?
So that's what we do around here. We're gonna have to have Benji on this live, obviously, at some point. But appreciate him giving us his insights on his picks. So
Yeah, agreed. Any thoughts on the Vikings game? Really quick, last thing.
I I still I think McCarthy's gonna do well. I think he'll keep us in it. I just don't think we're gonna win. So I think we'll lose a close one this time,
Yeah,
and
Baltimore's favored.
we're gonna beat the Lions. But we did. So hopefully I don't think we're gonna beat the Ravens, and we do. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I think we beat the Bears, and we'll go forward after that. But what about you? What are your thoughts for this week?
I think this is a big game for us. I think if we win, we're making a playoffs. If we lose, we're not.
I agree.
And I feel like Baltimore, I don't know. It kind of has the vibes of like the Bengals last year, where like they started out slow, they got Joe Burrow back and they were supposed to go on this huge run, but then they lost like an unfortunate game that they shouldn't have lost. So I'll give some confidence to our Vikes to say that we're going to come out there and play well and we're going to beat Baltimore.
This is what we need from you. It helped out last week when I said Jared Goff is my start of the week. So, all right. I'm hoping for this. And then it'll be a fun game, I'm hoping, and enjoy it. Okay. Enjoy that Vikings game on Sunday.
Yeah, purple v purple. Don't see it
Definitely.
too often.
Yeah, purple v purple. It's too bad. I mean, well, actually, no. I'm happy that Lamar's back and we get to play them at their full strength. Really does determine who we are and who they are. So
I was hoping we'd go 2-2 in this stretch, playing the Chargers, Eagles, Lions, and Ravens. We're 1-2 so far. So if we can somehow go 2-2, that would be huge.
be awesome. Should have the Eagles game, but
Yeah, unfortunate.
one at a time. And NFC North is crazy good. So we got to win these ones that are outside of the NFC North.
Agreed, agreed.
But there we
All
go.
right.
Anything else, Charlie?
I think that was all I had.
That was good. Enjoy week 10. Um, and enjoy your November 7th, 8th, and 9th. And we'll be back on the 10th. There might be some snow tomorrow, I'm hearing. So here we go. Potential.
Okay. Yeah,
There we
good
go.
luck this week. Send us any questions you have. Appreciate you listening.
Yep, appreciate it. Badman Fantasy Football. See you, Charlie.
See you, right.